Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. The snow is falling.
December weather is a witness. Something is brewing. And when it moves like this, you feel it like a chill in your bones. It becomes addictive. Walking into hostile wind, week in and week out.
There is a team from Ohio.
And silencing it.
Oh my goodness gracious, redemption.
Through white snow and whipping winds.
Shotgun snap, short drop by Burrow, the pressure.
That thunder in the wind, that's not the storm talking.
Into the end zone, and touchdown.
Wide open to Jamar Chase.
The throne sits cold as ice, waiting for the king.
The Bengals stuffed the Ravens on Thanksgiving night as they now turn their sights on the reigning MVP in hopes of spoiling his Sunday afternoon. Welcome in to Bengals Weekly. I'm Marissa Contipelli. Joe Burrow is back as he has this team still in the mix in the AFC North in what feels like playoff football from here on out. So as we get you set for this Week 14 matchup in Buffalo, we handed the mic over to Jamar Chase as Uno was mic'd up in Baltimore, and this might be one of the more entertaining mic'd ups we've had all season. Joseph Ossai had one of the best games of his career, and we'll sit down with the edge rusher to talk all about his performance and more. We turn the clock back to when the Bengals were making snow angels on the field in Buffalo, as we relive that 2022 divisional round win over the Bills. And on Countdown, I'll tell you just how shisty Joe has been in his career in the month of December. But first, the Bengals stunned the crowd at M&T Bank Stadium Thanksgiving night. Cincinnati ran a season-high 80 offensive plays as the defense forced 5 turnovers and enjoyed that post-game turkey meat. But before we took off for Baltimore, Dalton Risner was out making an impact in the community. Here's this week's From the Jungle.
Really rewarding work, I'm sure, but I'm sure that it's also a grind as well.
Well, it's been a labor of love.
I love cooking, I love food, it's so stinking fun.
You want to pass out turkeys or pie?
I want to do the turkeys.
Right.
Oh, you need a turkey? All right. Getting a turkey. Best one in the lot.
Today we were partnering with Dalton and Whitney Reisner to give a Thanksgiving meal to our cooks and lift students.
I think the holidays and Thanksgiving is so much about being around family and friends, but being able to have a warm meal, whether that's turkey or ham or mashed potatoes, some of these families need some help to make that meal happen.
Having folks like Whitney and Dalton come in and give back means a whole lot to them. They're able to see the impact that our volunteers are having, but also this caring community. Last year alone, we distributed over 47 million meals. It was because this caring community rallied behind the Free Star Food Bank and helped make a difference.
Just awesome to be able to impact the lives that came through here today.
It is Thanksgiving night at M&T Bank Stadium here in downtown Baltimore. Joe Burrow is back.
I'm thankful to be here tonight with you men. Victory is calling. Answer!
Every opportunity, bro, we gotta run through them, chip them, run through them on the block. Come on, bro, let's go.
Do what you dreamed of as a kid, playing on Thanksgiving night. Go out there and show the world what you're made of.
Thanksgiving night, AFC North, division game, physical, hungry, mentality off game, baby.
Let's go! Set the tempo! Let's go, man! Let's go!
And the Bengals will have the ball to begin the game.
Offense first. Offense first. Let's do it, 9. Rock out, brother. Rock out.
So Joe Burrow and the Bengals begin from the 36-yard line. Joe Burrow said this week when asked about should you come back, should you sit out the rest of the year, quote, "I am not going to live my life scared of something happening." Burrow fakes to Chase Brown, throws to Drew Sample, wide open on the right side. Quick pass over the middle, caught by Jamar Chase.
Burrow's look awfully good coming out. Doesn't look like that toe's bothering him one bit.
Catches a shoulder-high snap, drops straight back, under pressure, begins scrambling right, throws downfield. Jamar Chase makes the catch.
I caught the ball. Calm down. I caught it. Calm down.
He's got a great feel in the pocket. Looking down the field, he goes to his right, keeps the eyes up, and makes a great throw. And one of the concerns was moving to the right with the injury to the left toe was a question. Looked pretty good right there.
Joe Burrow is operating at a very, very high level of efficiency physically.
Deep down the field for Jamar Chase. What a catch!
Welcome back, brother. Welcome back.
Cincinnati showing pressure on 3rd down and 9. They send 5. Lamar Jackson from the pocket. He is hit, and he goes down. The ball comes out, and the Bengals recover. After a strip sack by Joseph Ossai and a fumble recovery by Cedric Johnson at the Baltimore 2, Bengals run 4 plays and gain nothing.
Likely on the run. Isaiah Likely hurling his way home. Did he hold on long enough?
Credit to Jordan Battle. Keep playing, knock the ball out. Huge play for the Bengals.
2 minutes left in the half. The Ravens looking to double dip. Lamar back to throw. Here comes a blitz, and Ossai buries Lamar Jackson.
Cincinnati defense being heard from here tonight.
Lamar with time, pump fakes, loses the ball. The Bengals fall on it.
That gotta be a good D. Good shit, boy.
Lamar fumbles for the second time. The Bengals have recovered 3 fumbles in the first half as Evan McPherson looks to tie his career high for a game with 4 in the first half. Here comes the right-footed kick, and he blasts it through. Cincinnati, thanks to 3 fumble recoveries, has a 5-point halftime lead. 3rd and 5, Lamar looking right, moving left, scrambling right, trying to run for the first down. He won't get it. The Bengals run him down, and it's a 3-and-out to begin the second half for Baltimore.
Hey, we got a strength right here. Let's get in there. Man, right here.
Joe is ready, catches the shotgun snap, begins scrambling right. Burrow throwing downfield for Hudson. He's got it! Touchdown, Bengals! Joe Burrow's first since returning from the toe injury.
Hey! Tanner like Baltimore. He always scoring in Baltimore.
Cincinnati up by a dozen. 19-7 the score. Here's a toss to the right. The Bengals are in bad position. Mitchell running to the 5, to the goal line. Touchdown, Ravens. The Bengals have a touchdown and 4 field goals. The Ravens now have 2 touchdowns, and Cincinnati is up 19-14. 3rd down and 7 at the Baltimore 44. Clock running, 1:46 left in the third. Joe looking to throw, good protection. His pass caught by Chase. Joe under pressure, flings it down the middle of the field. Yossi Vosh leaps at the 3 and takes it into the end zone. A 28-yard touchdown.
I don't want to answer, brother. This is it, man. This is great.
3rd and 9. Lamar Jackson. That ball got hit. That ball's intercepted. It's Demetrius Knight Jr. down the sideline. Another turnover for the Ravens.
2 fumbles and an interception tonight for Lamar Jackson. Demetrius Knight with the 2nd interception of his rookie year. Evan McPherson, who will look for his 5th field goal of the game, which would be a new career high. Cincinnati trying to take a 15-point lead in the 4th quarter. Less than 10 minutes to go. Snap is good. Here comes the kick on its way, and it is good.
First down, Flowers. Lost the football. That's a catch and a fumble. Scooped up by Cincinnati's DJ Turner.
Oh, my God.
A 5th Ravens turnover tonight.
And that is coffin nails.
When I was saying when Burrow went down, here comes Jake Browning. Season's not over. And Flacco gets acquired. In October, I said again what I said in September. The season's not over for the Cincinnati Bengals. Then I said in November, hey, listen, nobody's running away with it. But the season still isn't over. So now that it's December, take a look at the standings in the National Football League's American Football Conference North Division. Who's just 2 games back? Who's just 2 games back with the Ravens and the Steelers playing each other this week? And Joe Burrow back for the Bengals. I mean, talk about exciting.
I only bring a coat out for one dude.
He's bringing that out for Burrow. I said, man, go get me a coat.
Well, we made sure to pack the winter coats for this trip north, but before we head to Buffalo, we check in with the man on the mic in Baltimore. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Alta Fiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. Now, whenever we have Uno on the mic, it is just pure entertainment. From mismatched socks to, hey, that big blue thing down there is the end zone, to now, I guess, a winter coat debate. Well, that means we should just roll the film to find out more. So here is this week's Mic'd Up with the one and only Jamar Chase.
Go to work, hey. Do what you dreamed of as a kid, playing on Thanksgiving night. Go out there, show the world what you're made of, right? Go out there, do what you've been doing, have fun, show the world what you're made of. Playmakers on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Back on the Thanksgiving game. Can't get no better. Offense first. Let's do it, 9. Rock out, brother.
Burrow with a quick pass over the middle. Caught by Jamar Chase.
There's that combination, Burrow to Chase.
Burrow is set, catches a shoulder-high snap, drops straight back, under pressure, throws downfield. Jamar Chase makes the catch.
I caught the ball, calm down.
The pocket closes, he throws, Chase reaches high into the air.
When they need it, it's Burrow to Chase.
I see you, baby boy.
Shotgun snap to Burrow, he's gonna fling it deep down the field for Jamar Chase. What a catch! Over the shoulder.
They know what's going on.
One man on the face of the earth can make that catch.
Burrow firing Chase. Got it.
2 man ain't it. Get out of it. Yup. Let's go. Yeah, get out of 2 man. Let's get in that man right here.
3rd and 9. Burrow out to his right to the end zone. One hand brought in by Hudson for the touchdown.
What an adjustment to the ball by Hudson for a 14-yard touchdown. Joe Burrow's first since returning.
Hey! Tanner likes Baltimore. He always scoring in Baltimore. Past 2 years, he's been scoring out here. Hell yeah.
I only bring a coat out for one dude.
He's bringing that out for Burrow. I said, man, go get me a coat. Hey, we know you only like Burrow. It's all right. You bring Burrow a coat every time, but not everybody else. I know Burrow royalty. Yeah, you give it to Dre. Let Dre be the special person today.
I feel pretty special.
Even though we know Burrow is your royalty, bro, you ain't got a lot of us, bro. He's priority. He's priority.
Shotgun snap. Joe under pressure, flings it down the middle of the field.
Joseph Ossai, touchdown, Cincinnati.
A 28-yard touchdown.
Good. That's what the answer, brother. Good shit, man. Hey, look to Dre. What an answer. Way to make a play.
I said, how do they see the mom and dad real fast?
In the TV?
You never know when it's on you, so you gotta say it back. I felt so bad because I heard you say something to mom and pop, so no, you're good, you're good. I got it out.
First down, Flowers. Lost the football, that's a catch and a fumble.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's crazy.
A 5th Ravens turnover tonight.
Yo, they like giving it away. They giving it away. Today. yesterday, boy, when we gonna play. Welcome back, man. Welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Woo-hoo! We about to eat some turkey that day. Woo!
And we're about to play all 2 weeks, though, bro. I can't be too friendly. I'll see y'all ass again.
That's all right.
I'll see y'all again.
And I'm gonna do it again, too. Already.
Coming up next, we take a tour of our state-of-the-art training facility at Paycor Stadium and show you how our staff helps players recover and get back on the field at peak performance. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. Joe Burrow made his return to the field in Week 13 after recovering from a toe injury he suffered in Week 2. Now, the training staff here in Cincinnati has done an incredible job over the years ensuring our players recover faster, stronger, and safer throughout the grind of the season. So we thought we'd give you a little tour and some insights into the different types of recovery options we have available at Paycor Stadium.
Football, man. Football.
It's a long season. It's physically and mentally taxing on our players.
Oh, yeah!
And I think the recovery process is critical. Our players are very elite, and they want to be able to bounce back very quickly after a big physical game. So guys are going through practice, they're going through workouts, they're breaking down muscle. So the key is breaking it down, and then how quickly can you get back to be able to perform at your best the next day is critical. And you can do that utilizing the recovery modalities that we have here. So we did a very huge upgrade after our 22 season, and the way it's laid out and the way it's designed, we have a large area here with multiple tables and modalities for all of our treatments. One of our biggest improvements of this entire training room is how much space we opened up in the back for our rehab. And I think it's very, very important when a player comes into the room to be able to have the access to start a treatment over here and then transition to the rehab area and be able to complete the entire rehab process. One of the most popular rooms that we have for our players is this room. Hydrotherapy room, easy access. Our player locker room and hallway is here so our guys can come in right to the hot tubs and into the cold tubs. We also have an underwater treadmill. I think the underwater treadmill is a great rehab tool for us to allow guys to get in the water and run at a very, very early stage through the rehab process. So this is a tunnel over to our recovery room. In our recovery room, we have 2 rooms that are float beds. Our next set of rooms is our red light bed. Great recovery. It's really promoting the ATP directly to the cell level. We also have hyperbaric chambers. These are oxygen chambers, very, very popular. As you can imagine, having great high-level oxygen in the body just helps recover very quickly. Next, I'll show you the cryo chamber. Very, very cold, but very effective. It's set right now at -118. They'll go in and they'll stay in for about 3 minutes. Very, very cold, but when you get out and that blood rushes back to the body, the recovery that you get from that is very, very effective. So this is a recovery room. It's very, very effective and gives our guys an edge. It gives them an advantage to be able to recover and jump right back to the next activity that they're asked to do.
When we return here on Bengals Weekly, we sit down with Joseph Ossai after the D-end recorded his first multi-sack game of his career and was named one of the Madden Thanksgiving Players of the Game. 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and 8 total pressures. Joseph Ossai had one of the best performances of his 4-year NFL career, as he enjoyed some of that turkey post-game and was named one of the Madden Thanksgiving Players of the Game. So I knew that we needed to sit down with Joseph to talk all about that Thanksgiving game and his recent surge on defense. Here's my conversation with the edge rusher. Well, Joseph, you had one, if not the best game of your career with your performance against the Ravens on Thursday night. Just what stood out to you about your play and just, that effort that you showed out there?
What stood out was just my relentlessness. There's been sparks here and there. Going into the game, I was like, give me 4 quarters of relentlessness. Give me 4 quarters of playing with your hair on fire, proud about and happy about it. And it seemed like that radiated through the whole defense. The whole defense, we put together 4 really good quarters, and that in turn radiated through the whole team. Offenses scored when we needed them to. Defense has got to stop when we needed them to. And special teams has put their foot on the gas, whether it's pinning them back and getting us out of the end zone with the returns and all that stuff. So it was complete ball, and it was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful to see, and it was amazing to be a part of.
It definitely was fun to watch. Yeah. And for you, having the 2 sacks, the huge forced fumble, out of those plays, which were you maybe the most proud of?
I would say the forced fumble, because, again, the timing of it was perfect. The energy it created, we were away, but you could feel the energy. Even coming out of that, the way we finished on the quarterback, I was really proud of that one. And to get the fumble, too, was cherry on top.
I feel like we've seen so many flashes from you at times this season. It was only a matter of time, I feel like, for you to put the statistical numbers, at least, like a game like the one you had. Yeah. Did you kind of feel like, like it was just only a matter of time before it seemed like it all kind of fell into place at the right moment?
You start chasing stats. You start playing out of the defense. You start putting too much pressure on yourself. And the more you chase, the more it runs away from you. If you play the game it's meant to be played and let the game come to you, they start coming and they come in bunches. So again, my thought process was, let's go dominate. Stats, whether it's sacks or TFLs or tackles, let's go dominate all 4 quarters.
So you're known for really, that motor and that effort that you play with week in and week out.
I appreciate that.
How have you seen your game really, evolve over the course of the years and, especially with this year?
I would say, and J-Mo's done a good job of it, anticipating plays, the way he breaks down formations and allows us to see the whole picture. Still their mail is what we call it. Seeing the whole picture, learning and trying to see what the offense is doing before it happens.
So how would you describe the identity that the defense is playing with right now?
Just be mean. Just go out there, be mean, fly around, be brutal. Alcohol is populating the ball, but guys are just hunting. When they get to the ball, trying to break someone's face mask. Even though you have all the skills and you can be finesse when you want to, you choose violence. From my perspective, guys are choosing violence, and it shows.
So now for both you and the defense as a whole, just how do you guys balance, that momentum of having a game and performance like you did against the Ravens, but also wanting to make sure that, you stay grounded and, level-headed and, keep that consistency?
Exactly, and it goes back to that shutting off the outside noise. Outside noise is not just bad. Outside noise, when you're doing great, can be very loud as well and very good. And it's easy to get lost in that. It's easy to drown in that at times. It has to be a noise-canceling thing, So whether it's good and, they're all praising you, telling you you're the best to ever do it, the best they've ever seen, you got to cancel that out too and just work.
Heading up to Buffalo for week
Violence,
14.
Freezing.
It might be a little cold, but taking on Josh Allen and that offense, what are maybe a couple of keys for the defense on Sunday?
Similar to the Ravens in a sense. Their offense runs through Josh and then their ability to run the ball. I heard they're leading in the league right now, rush yards per game. Stop the run and then affect Josh. And like I said for the last game, Lamar's going to do Lamar things. Same with Josh. Josh is going to make Josh plays. He was MVP for a reason. He's going to make plays. You can't panic when that happens. You got to bunker down and understand that yards don't equal points. And if we need to do 7 plays on a goal line again, we will, whatever it takes. You can't be scared. I said it before, give them their props, but you can't be scared. You got to go out there and be violent.
Well, Joseph, appreciate the time. Always great to catch up, and best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Coming up next on Bengals Weekly, we turn the clock back to the 2022 playoffs and relive the thrilling divisional round win in Buffalo. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. The last time the Bengals were in Buffalo, snow angels were being made in the end zone as the team was heading back to the AFC Championship after defeating the 2-seeded Buffalo Bills in dominating fashion. Cincinnati held Buffalo to just 63 yards on the ground as Cam Taylor-Britt intercepted Josh Allen with just under a minute to go in regulation to seal the deal. We now take you into the vault to relive that 2022 divisional round matchup in Buffalo.
Dan Horton, Dave Lapham, happy to have you with us for our coverage of this playoff game between the Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. The snow is falling. The temperature is at 30 degrees, about what you would expect on January 22nd here in the Buffalo suburb of Orchard Park, New York. T. Higgins out wide to the left. Shotgun snap. Short drop by Burrow. The pressure comes from the left. He throws over the middle. Caught at the 9. Chase straight ahead into the end zone. Touchdown on the opening drive for Cincinnati. 3rd down and 7 at the 15 of Buffalo. The Bills Mafia trying to make a difference now. Joe waits for the shotgun snap. He catches. Pump fakes to the right. Now throws to the end zone. It is caught by Hayden Hurst. Touchdown! Bengals' first drive was 6 plays, 79 yards for a touchdown. Their second drive, 10 plays, 72 yards for a touchdown. Burrow a perfect 4 for 4 on drive number 1 and a perfect 5 for 5 on drive number 2. And the Bengals have a 14-0 lead. So it's 3rd and less than a yard. Mixon is the running back. Burrow tosses it left. Mixon with blockers in front. He's to the 10. And Joe will make it down to the 5-yard line. About an inch, maybe a half an inch away from the goal line. Burrow hands it off. Mixon goes airborne, waiting for the signal. The Bengals replay challenge is successful. It's a 1-yard touchdown run for Joe Mixon. Allen back to throw on 2nd and 5. Pump fakes. Now he's going to launch it deep downfield. Intercepted by Cam Taylor-Britt. And that is officially coffin nails. The Bengals are heading to Kansas City.
Now the Bengals have shown they can put together late season pushes and win streaks. They won 10 in a row during the 2022 campaign, and last season finished the year winning their final 5 games. So why could this team be poised to another strong finish? Well, let's send it over to Dan, Dave, and Jeff to get their take.
The Bengals are 2 games back in the AFC North with 5 games to go. To win the division, they almost certainly have to run the table. And in this Who Dey conversation, we are going to tell you why we think that's still possible. Lap, you're up first.
Dan, I think it's possible because they're 3-1 in the division. That's what the biggest tiebreaker is. That's the most important tiebreaker to have. They're starting to play a lot better. Defensively, they're starting to play a lot better. Offensively, they have number 9 back. When you have number 9 back, you got a chance. You got a shot. I think he's the best quarterback in football. I thought in the second half he really started to find his groove. He built some momentum. The ball was coming off of his hand very smoothly, very easily, very fluidly. Well, he made some throws that were amazing. Some just unbelievable, beautiful throws that only he can make. If they can go 5-1 in the division and have that for a tiebreaker, that's solid gold, man. You can't buy that. A lot of teams would like to. A lot of coaches would like to. Who knows? Heck, it might even win the division. You never know, particularly when you have that 5-1 tiebreaker.
And for what it's worth, they've won their last 8 games started by Joe Burrow. Butch, you're up next.
Schedule very favorable for this end table run. Let it snow, Horty. Let it snow. 3 of the last 5 games are at Paycor, where the Bengals are 8-4 in this decade in December games. Of the 5 remaining teams they play, 3 have a combined record of 11-25 and are in the bottom half of the league in points for and points allowed. They play a 500 team, we know well. It will be 17 days after a rusty Joe Burrow put up 32 points in that win in Baltimore. And then the lone winning team they face this Sunday in Buffalo, an Eskimo team, a top 10 offense led by the great Josh Allen, and the defense is 12th, but there's still questions about that defense. They looked good last week, but it was against a wounded Aaron Rodgers. There's some questions about that defense. Now they get Joe Burrow with 1 start under his belt. He's 5-0 on the road in December games. He's 3-0 in weather colder than freezing, and I can assure you it will be colder than freezing in Buffalo Sunday. He's 3-0 there. He's 2-0 against Josh Allen, and he's 1-0 against Josh Allen in the Buffalo snow. Schedule looks good. Horty, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
All right. My reason for why I think the Bengals could run the table is pretty simple. They've done it before. Yep. In fact, most of these players did it last year. Zach Taylor's been criticized at times for the Bengals' slow starts, but I don't think he's ever received enough credit for their strong finishes. In the Super Bowl year, they were 7-6. Then they won 6 straight if you don't count the regular season finale when they rested their starters. The following year featured a 10-game winning streak. After they were 4-4, that ended in the AFC Championship game. And then last year, the Bengals won their last 5 to keep their playoff hopes alive. So, in 3 out of the last 4 years, they've had long end-of-season winning streaks that extended into January. Can they do it again? Well, we've just given you 3 reasons why we think it's possible in this Who Dey conversation.
Up next, we pop into the locker room to hear from the guys as they prepare to take on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. Joe Davis will be in the booth for Fox in Buffalo this Sunday, as he now joins our Dan Horde to give us his preview of the matchup, as Davis also tells us just how impressed he was to see Joe Burrow return to action.
It is Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen. What was your reaction when Joe Burrow returned from his toe injury ahead of schedule, and how do you think he played in that Thanksgiving night game against Baltimore?
Yeah, the first thing was, okay, this changes the Bengals, even before we saw how the game went. First half, shook the rust off. I think he was the first one to even say that. But second half, it's like, my goodness, you talk about a guy completely changing the mood, changing the tone around the team. And for us, selfishly going into this game, we got the assignment the week before that, crossing our fingers that he looked good in his return, and he did, obviously, and we are extra fired up after seeing it. I know the playoff hopes are faint. If there's ever a chance for a team that's sitting in the position that the Bengals are, yeah, you got a mathematical chance. But if there's anybody that injects enough hope to further that storyline, it is Burrow. And going there and facing Josh Allen, that being head-to-head, it's hard to beat that in terms of big stars going head-to-head on an NFL Sunday.
The Bengals defense has had its ups and downs this year. We acknowledge that, but they've been pretty good the last few weeks. They've given up 17.6 points over their last 3 games. Got 5 takeaways in the win over Baltimore on Thanksgiving night. What must this defense do to have success against Buffalo?
Normally, Dan, you'd say, okay, yeah, they've been better lately, but let's see what happens when they go in and face Josh Allen and the Bills. But Bills' offense has not been the same. They're running the ball really well, ran all over the Steelers, but the passing game just has not been there at all. Recent years, Josh Allen has been able to, even though they haven't had a number 1 target necessarily, has been able to overcome that, paper over it. It's just not quite been the same this year. So in years past, you'd say, hey, the Bills, if they could just stop the right teams, they're going to break through. Now the Bills are asking the question, can they find offense? So to your question about that Bengals defense, I think it's a chance for them to continue the momentum we saw them build against, obviously no slouch in Baltimore, what they did against Lamar and that group.
Well, let me follow up on that, because the Bills are 8-4. If the season ended today, they would be a playoff team, but they're not quite as dominant as they've been. Josh Allen got sacked 8 times a couple of weeks ago. What do you think are the Bills' biggest issues on the overall team?
I look at the offense in the passing game. They just haven't been able to throw the ball downfield. And normally that's a huge strength of Josh Allen's. There's just not much around him. Dalton Kincaid, his favorite tight end, has been hurt the last few weeks. So that passing game, it's crazy to think about. Josh Allen and the Bills passing game, they have issues with that. But that right now for me is the biggest question.
Look forward to hearing your call on Sunday in Buffalo. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Dan. It'll be good to see you.
The Bengals are still in the thick of things in the AFC North race as they look to build off of that win in Baltimore and go into a hostile environment in Buffalo to hand the Bills a loss on their home turf.
They've got great talent. They're well coached. They've got a lot of confidence, and they can throw the ball. They can run the ball. They do a great job. Other times, they just know they got that innate feel of time in the pocket, coverage, where I don't need to run. I can sit back here and exhaust my progression. So he's got the experience to do all that, and it makes him really challenging. They're not afraid to run the quarterback either. So you get to, 3rd and less than 5, and you might have a quarterback run coming at you. You're in the low red zone, you got a quarterback run coming at you. So
They're not afraid to do that. That's an extra hat for them that makes it really challenging when they're willing to do that. So again, our guys feel like they got a great plan in place. Now we just got to go execute it over the week.
Control the edges, whenever he gets out of the pocket, just, make sure we contain him, make sure we don't allow him to make the big plays, and extend plays, keep him in the pocket.
If you don't have all into the spectrum covered, then he'll get you with either or. So you just got to take everything into consideration. You got to watch how he moves when he's outside of the pocket. Famous for his pump fake when he's on the run, just to, buy some time.
They got good players that typically have been there for a while. Most of their guys have been in that scheme for several years now, and yeah, we've had success against them in the past. We haven't played them in several years. Every game is new, so look forward to going and improving.
What makes great teams is being able to stay together in those types of situations, lean on each other, and just take it one day at a time, getting better each day in practice, getting to the bottom of the game plan, finding the little details that you need to do to go out there and win a game.
Just continue to grow, and every week presents a new challenge.
The energy has always been high, but I would say the energy now is just focused.
We got to keep winning these games, keep getting better as a defense, keep getting better as a D-line, and with all that, I personally get better, so that's the main focus.
And now we're thirsty for more, so it's just continuing to strike the ball, continuing to emphasize it in practice so it continues to translate into the game so that we can get the offense as many touches as possible.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough task. We know what we have to do. We know we have to be aggressive, a more aggressive team. We got to show them what the AFC North is about.
When we return, it's time for Contipelli's Countdown, where I'll tell you how dominant the O-line was on Thursday night in Baltimore. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. It's shiesty season as we go from Jovember to Jocember. Joe Burrow reminded us on Thursday night why he has been given the nickname Jovember. But his December and even January numbers may be even more impressive than what he's historically done that month prior. When you look at Joe Burrow's numbers in the months of December and January, he has the best career completion percentage, passing yards per game, and passer rating among all quarterbacks since 1970. His .813 regular season win percentage in the final 2 months of the season is third highest all time since 1970 as well, as his .111 QB rating in the month of December is his personal highest for any month. And Joey B capped off his return on Thanksgiving night by logging his 6th career game with at least 45 pass attempts, 2 passing touchdowns, and no interceptions. That is the most by any quarterback since 2020. Now, as for one of Burrow's favorite targets, Jamar Chase needs just 29 receiving yards to reach 1,000 for the season. When he gets there, he will become the 5th player in NFL history with 1,000 receiving yards in each of his first 5 seasons in the league. And with his 110 yards last week, Uno recorded his 5th game this season with at least 110 receiving yards. That's the 2nd most such games in the NFL this season. As for the offensive line, they are coming off one of their best protection games in recent years, as PFF gave the group their best pass blocking grade since 2016. The unit of Orlando Brown, Dylan Fairchild, Ted Karras, Dalton Reisner, and Amarius Mims have allowed just 2 pressures on 250 total pass blocking snaps. That's a combined pressure rate of under 1%.
Lamar throws downfield into the end zone, tipped and intercepted. Demetrius Knight running it back, and the Bengals get their 4th takeaway, and Knight runs it back 36 yards.
And for the defense, they had their best performance of 2025. The D gave up a season-low 14 points and just 16 first downs, as their 5 takeaways were the most in a single game since 2007. Joseph Ossai recorded his highest PFF grade of the season, as his 8 total pressures led all defenders in Week 13 and were the most he has ever posted in a single game. Ossai also had the first multi-sack game of his career, as the 4th-year pro has hit new single-season career highs in quarterback hits, quarterback hurries, and tackles for loss. And Money Mac was doing Money Mac things on Thanksgiving. Evan McPherson hit a career-high 6 field goals, making it the 2nd most field goals in a single game in Bengals history. His 20 points on the night were also the 2nd most in a game by a Bengals kicker, as McPherson became the 3rd kicker in the NFL this season to record 4 field goals in a single half, on his way to earning his 4th Special Teams Player of the Week honors. Pro Bowl voting is now live. You can send Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, DJ Turner, and the rest of your favorite Bengals to the Pro Bowl this February. All you have to do is visit Bengals.com/team/pro-bowl. Or you can vote on social media. When you do, make sure you include a hashtag followed by the player's first and last name, just like you see here on the screen. But get those votes in now because all voting ends on December 15th. Let's rule the vote and get our Bengals to the Pro Bowl games. When we return, it's time for Social Spotlight, where we'll show you the artistic side of one of our players and how his creative knack will be on display this weekend. It's now time for our weekly Social Spotlight segment. And before we had Jamar Chase Lucky Charms, we had Ocho Cinco's. Bengal Jim with the throwback box of Honey Nut Toasted Oats from 2011. Now, hopefully he went with the Uno Charms, given that the Ocho Cinco's are about 14 years expired, but still very impressive that he held on to that box of cereal for all this time.
My name is Marco Wilson. I also go as Hip Boy. I'm an NFL cornerback for the Cincinnati Bengals, an artist, and many other things as well.
Now, Marco Wilson will have his art featured in part of Artist Replay in Miami this weekend. Artist Replay is an NFL initiative created to amplify the work and voices of BIPOC and up-and-coming artists from around the world. You can view Marco's work on his Instagram page. And Marco is the only active player in this initiative who is participating.
Were you playing for that turkey leg? I don't know. I started eating too soon.
Oh, and poor Joseph Ossai, all he wanted to do was eat some turkey after our Thanksgiving win. He didn't realize he was going to have to also do a post-game interview. Well, thankfully, Joseph, he powered through it. I did ask him earlier this week if he has recovered from this, but the jury is still out on that one.
Oh, the camera on me? I don't know what to do but eat.
And we are not done with the turkey leg content. Cedric Johnson getting his share in after a huge Thursday night performance. I'm glad he got that protein in. And sheesh, this spin move by Joe Burrow will never get old. The last time we were in Buffalo, Joey B brought this out during pregame warmups. This is as shiesty as it gets. Now make sure you are following along with the Bengals social media channels. To find us, all you have to do is search @Bengals and give us a follow. The Bengals and Bills kick off Sunday just after 1 p.m. Eastern, and you can catch all the action on your local Fox station. You can also check out one of the streaming options, including Fox One, NFL Plus on mobile, NFL Sunday Ticket, and NFL Game Pass internationally. And as always, you can listen in to Dan Horde and Dave Lapham on the Bengals Radio Network. Thanks for tuning in to Bengals Weekly. Kickoff between the Bengals and the Bills is coming up. For Dan Horde, Dave Lapham, Jeff Hobson, and our entire crew, I'm Marissa Contipelli. We'll see you next week. Bengals Weekly was brought to you by Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. AltaFiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. And Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals.